Bobby Fazio.
Hello and welcome to Driver Interviews with Bobby Fazio. Today is Tuesday. It's Tuesday already. Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. Season has begun. And, I don't know how many people got to, watch Orlando live. I was trying my best to watch it, but it's upon us. Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series. For anybody that's just joining me for the first time or is new to this, the Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series is where we stock and super stock racers compete, though we will race at national events that are considered the Camping World Series. We are still Lucas Oil Series at those races. We're just guests of theirs. We're fill-in material, the best fill-in material you can get. So thanks for joining us today. Say hello if you're out there. DriverInterviews.com is the website. Head over to DriverInterviews.com. Click on the subscribe button that flashes up and blinds you in red. That is the YouTube channel. That is where you could be watching me at this very moment. And that is what helps fund the Driver Interviews with Bobby Fazio project here. Okay, so if you hit the subscribe button, the more subscribers I have, the more videos get sent out to everybody, the more likes I have, things like that. Helps us spread the word more. So go there and do that. And then on driverinterviews.com, you can also buy shirts, stickers, hats. Now, as soon as I get that up and running, you can sponsor the show. And we have a major title sponsor that just joined this weekend. Today is their first show. And I do apologize to them. I'm still in the middle of the move, everybody. If you all joined me last week, I'm still squished into this little condo that, thank God, that I have, because we had a little limbo period between old house and new house. So it's just the way life is right now. So go on the Facebook and Instagram pages as well at Driver Interviews and use hashtag The Car Show, because we are The Car Show. And you hear me say that every week in and week out. The Car Show, stock and super stock drag racing, is a car show at its finest. And if anybody was wondering who the new title sponsor is, Lupe Tortilla, Texmex.com, a hyphen in there in between the Tex and Mex. They got weekend brunches right now from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. For a limited time, they got the watermelon mint margarita. Check it out. That's in the Texas, the Houston area, the San Antonio area. There's about 30 locations down there in Texas for you to check out. Lupe Tortilla, thank you for coming on board. They have a nice fleet of race cars as well. You've seen their logo on cars. They got a couple Chevy 2s. They got Firebird. They got names on other people's cars. And they got margarita machines at their pits. So, I mean, that's one of the best parts. Hopefully they're in Gainesville. I really hope they're in Gainesville. If you guys are listening, go to Gainesville so I can see you there and taste a margarita. Dragonsites.com. Check out your stats. Check out your opponent's stats. Sign up for contingency. Free to join. Calendar is up so you can plan your schedule out. Here, I was mistaken. I thought Orlando was just a random divisional in the middle of, in early February. And then I thought we just had to wait like 6 more weeks until Gainesville. But I'm wrong. Thanks to the Drag Insights calendar, made it a little easier for me. We've got Wild Horse Pass. We've got Division 7 double, I think. And we have a no problem raceway, Belle Rose, coming up all before Gainesville. So I did not know that. And I would have sounded even dumber than I already do by thinking Gainesville was the next race on the tour. So thanks, Drag Insights, for pointing that out to me. Sign up, draginsights.com. Rob Youngblood, Advanced Clutches. If you are a cool drag racer and you like pulling the handle and dumping the clutch, which I love doing, check out advancedclutches.com. Get Rob Youngblood on the phone. Get some knowledge, okay? And get out there. He sent me a new clutch this year. I can't wait to try it out. And I will let you know how it goes every step of the way. Don Kennedy Race Car Insurance. The Can't Afford Not To insurance. Policy starting at $180 a year. How can you not? 602-284-6240. Hit up Don Kennedy or 1DonKennedy@gmail.com. Don, hope you're out there. I see a lot of comments, but I haven't gotten to them yet. CP Carrillo Pistons. Hit up my boy Nick Diaz, Nick at cpcarrillo.com. CP is the only Piston I've ever run in my super stock car, and they've treated me well over the years. Been running super stock since 2009 and have never broken a piston. Knock on. All right. Thank you, CP Carrillo Pistons. Total Seal rings. Okay. Hit up Lake Speed at Total Seal and check out the tech segment that we did. And as always, all of these sponsors, if you do use them or hit them up, tell them Bobby Fazio sent you. I would appreciate it. Check out that Lake Speed episode. Like I said, tech episode. Very good one. All right. Who's out there? Who's out there? Greg Scott, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. XRE Performance Engines. That's Tom. How you doing, Tom? Greg, how you doing again? I got Greg Scott on Facebook and YouTube. I love it. Pete. Well, it's got to be early morning where Pete is. He's out in San Diego. Brian Zenson. How you doing, Brian? Bruce, Pontiac rules. I always did like Pontiacs. I'm not going to lie. Pontiac GTOs. I love them. Pontiac Tempest from My Cousin Vinny. Check out the end scene of My Cousin Vinny, Bruce. I'm sure you like that movie. Pete, how you doing? Peter Astor, my team captain, travels with me. Pete, and helps me work on houses. Good to see you, Pete. All right, so let's get through a couple things here. First off, I'd like to tell everybody that I was at the NHRA Division I banquet this weekend. That was in Hershey, Pennsylvania. You know how banquets are. 3 hours of sitting there, listening to speeches and handing out awards and calling people's names out. I did get my name called out, and it flashed up on the screen, so that was pretty cool. Super stock, finished in 5th in Division I. So my wife and I went. We needed a little getaway, and it was cool. All right, what do you guys think of this, okay? Joel Warren, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Hope to see you at Gainesville. Robert Hornsberger, how you doing? Good morning. For anybody that doesn't know, Rob is a realtor, and not only that, Rob's a racer. He finds sick, nasty properties that racers like us love. You want a big garage? You want a nice plot of land in a low-tax area? You got to hit up Rob Hornsberger. I think he's got a Facebook page for that. It's like Dream Garages or something. Rob, comment and let us know what it is. We'll send them over to you. But yeah, I'm still stuck in the high-tax state of New Jersey, but as soon as I am established enough to get out of here and get my racing compound, Rob Hornsberger is the guy I'm going to. Anyways, back to the Division I banquet. 75 ahead. All right, cool. It's a nice dinner, plated dinner. The ticket says cocktail hour on there, 5 o'clock, cocktail hour. All right, let's get down there. Of course, my wife makes me late for everything, so it's like 5:30 by the time we get there. I give her leeway. She looks good, when we go out. It just takes her a long time to get ready, so fine. I can make exceptions. But we're missing cocktail hour. Let's go. We get down to cocktail hour. Got a bunch of $5 bills in my pocket. Think I'm just going to be tipping the guy making me gin and tonics. And I get up to the front of the line there. And it's not like a real cocktail hour. It's a cash bar hour. And to me, there's a little bit of a difference there. Okay, so now my $5s that I had for tipping, I had to say, all right, you hurry up. You stay here. You get these drinks. I got to run to an ATM machine and get us some scratch so we can buy cash bar hour, not cocktail hour. Just made me laugh though, What was I thinking, right? Shame on me. Other than that, it was a good time. Great time. And chocolate martinis were on point at the end of the night in the lobby bar. Lenny Lade, what's up? Good afternoon, sir. Thanks for joining. So I thought that was funny. Anyways, enough of the Division I banquet. Patsy Hill. How's Patsy Hill doing? Last I heard, she was on the mend here. I heard she had double pneumonia. I was reading that on Class Racer. So if somebody can comment, or if she is there, or Larry, or their son, Chris Hill, I believe his name is. Somebody comment and let us know Patsy Hill's latest condition. They are staples in our world of stock and super stock eliminators. They usually travel to at least 90% of the races that I go to. And I'm guessing they weren't in Orlando, but I'm hoping they get, she gets well enough they can get to Gainesville and I can see them there. So let me know. Well wishes for Patsy Hill. Hope you're feeling better. And somebody comment and let us know what's going on there. My thoughts exactly, Pete, right? I'm not crazy, am I? I mean, I am, but I don't think I was crazy on that point. And my wife was a wedding planner for a long time, so she said that I was okay thinking that. Oh my goodness. Walt, what's up? Good morning, Walt. Good morning. What else do we have? Jeff Anderson. Okay, so the Orlando Division II race, their season opened for Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series. And there was a gentleman there named Jeff Anderson, who I'm told is Greg Anderson, the Pro Stock Racer's brother. I did not know that Greg Anderson had a brother racing Super Stock. I know that there was another Greg Anderson out there racing Lucas Oil that, obviously wasn't the Greg Anderson that runs Pro Stock, but the Greg Anderson that runs Pro Stock has a brother named Jeff Anderson that had a heart attack in Orlando. How's Jeff Anderson doing? I heard EMTs were on it, and he got rushed to the hospital. So if anybody can comment and let me know how he's doing, well wishes for you, Jeff Anderson. I don't know if I've ever met you in person, but I hope you are okay, and hope to see you and meet you at Gainesville. So somebody let us know how that's going. Yeah, well, that's what we were thinking, Brian, but we were mistaken. We were mistaken, okay? It's called cocktail hour, but it wasn't really cocktail hour by my definition. But yeah, if it was on NHRA, I probably would have drank a couple more. All right, let's get to the Orlando race. So, Orlando. Let's start with the number one qualifiers. Since we all know him well, he goes by the name Gump on Class Racer. Darren Poole Adams wasted no time. He came out firing. Number one qualifier, Factory Stock E. I think they put him down as a 2019 Copo. I know he's got like a fleet of cars. I think Steve Foley might be driving his newest and latest, but Darren Poole Adams went 974.3 on a 1095 index. He went 120 with a 7 under. Now, you don't have to shriek and get scared anymore when somebody goes 120 because the automatic horsepower trigger is now 130 under. So, although this will count against Darren Poole Adams' average, should he go 1 second under again, he does not get an automatic horsepower hit today. So he's in the clear and qualified number one, and congratulations. And in Super Stock, Stacy McCarty, GTD automatic, 95 Grand Am, I believe. Don't know what engine combo he's running, but he went 893.9 on a 10 flat index. He was 1.06 under the index. Now, in addition to this, we would like to thank Service Department Solutions. That is Mike Volkman, Emily Volkman. They are D2 racers, and they support us stock and super stock racers, and they're supporting the performance aspect of stock and super stock drag racing. Okay, so they awarded the number one qualifiers in stock and super stock with an additional $200 and some nice hats too. So that's really cool. I know performance. I for sure know performance is important to Darren Poole Adams, and he loves to showcase that and promote that in the stock and super stock world. So congratulations, Darren Poole Adams. Look at that evil grin he's got. Look how happy he is. Look at Stacy McCarty. He's happy too. So Stacy runs a 428 Pontiac. All right. He's flying then, 890s. Bruce, what's that advertised and rated at? I got to know. I see a lot of people flying with that nowadays. Or Walt, if you know, 428 Pontiac motor. Irvin John's motor, I believe, right? Who else runs that? There's a couple people running that. Don Kennedy runs that, I believe. Could even be Scott Burton might even be running that. 330. All right. 330 rated, or that's a 330 advertised? Or is it advertised and rated 330? Maybe it was never changed. But aside from that, thank you, Service Department Solutions, for sponsoring Stock and Super Stock Performance, and congrats, Darren Poole Adams and Stacy McCarty. Excellent. Now, if you're wondering who actually won Stock Eliminator, there he is, Jeff Longany. Longany or Longany? Don't really know how to pronounce it, but I do know he's a hell of a racer. He does big wheelies in that Corvette too. Jeff won the national event at Virginia last year, which I sadly can report was the last national event at Virginia for the time being. Hopefully they come back eventually. Jeff had a heads-up run in the third round against another Corvette. So a New Jersey, fellow New Jerseyan up here, Larry Pappas, went down there in a B-stock automatic I'm reading it was a 93 Corvette. I'm reading it was a 92 Corvette. I'm reading that that there is no 93 Corvette in the guide. So I don't know what it was, but it's a red Corvette and B-stock automatic, heads up run against Jeff Longany. Jeff was 078 on the tree and went 1026 on the 1125. Now, Jeff slowed to 122 miles per hour and went 98.7 under. Stellar driving job by Jeff right here. For anybody that's not familiar, if you go 1 second under, you can trigger a review. Okay, Jeff was around Larry Pappas, and he slowed himself to go 98 under. I know that's not what people new to drag racing will understand. Why would you slow yourself down in a drag race? Well, we got to win, but we got to win by as little as possible, because if you go too fast in our style of drag racing, you actually can get penalized and have to add weight to your car. Nobody wants to do that. So Jeff was 078 on the tree, went 1026 elapsed time at 122 miles an hour, while Larry Pappas was 063 on the tree and went 1034.7 at 128 miles an hour. So Larry actually went faster mile per hour wise, but slower in the elapsed time. So Jeff got the win. Jeff crossed the stripe first. In this style of heads-up racing, first to the finish line wins. There is no dial-in, handicap, or breakout. All right, so congrats, Jeff. And then Jeff actually made it to the final and beat Jim Roberts, who is a fellow or a D1 racer, New England racer. I think he's got a convertible stick car, green Camaro, 69 Camaro stick. Or is it a Firebird? Now I'm wondering. But anyways, cool car nonetheless. So congrats, Jeff, and congrats to Jim Roberts on your runner-up. And in Superstock, the Terror, Kevin Helms, he just decided to come out and win a race, right? So Kevin Helms has what's he got, an Olds here? Olds, I don't know, a Chiva or something like that. And he got the win in Superstock. Who Kevin beat in Superstock is a good question. So why don't I just hurry up and go to my drag insights right here. Click on Orlando Speed World, view that event, and let me know who we beat in the final. Because if I was a professional, I would have had this ready to go. But alas, I am still a novice at times. All right. Kevin Helms, Superstock. He beat Stacy McCarty, the number one qualifier. How did you not know that, Bobby? Come on. Stacy in the final. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I need you guys there. This is why I love people interacting, but I need people interacting because it keeps me on top of my game here. So rated at 330 with Edelbrock heads. That's at 428 Pontiac. Rob Cruzen also runs it. He flies. I was thinking of him and Irvin Johns. They all fly. And he had Stacy in the final. Thanks, Gary Ewing. Gary was down there too. Gary, I believe, is a Maryland man, and he was down. D1 guy. People wanted to get out of this cold. So congrats to Kevin Helms. Congrats, Stacy McCarty. Almost went for the double-double there. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. I also got to give a shout-out to, we don't give Comp a whole lot of love, but another D1 guy, Wes Leopold, went down there and won Comp Eliminator. So congrats. D1 did pretty well down there. Very impressive. Very impressive. Way to go, guys. Wes Leopold, congrats on your win in Comp Eliminator. All right. What else did I have to mention today? Oh, yes. How could I forget? How could I forget? Don't forget, guys. West Coast, February 18th and 19th. So here, like I said, I thought we just had to wait till Gainesville. We do not. Okay. We have Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park. That is the Phoenix, Arizona track. Chandler, Arizona, if you want to get technical. They have a double divisional weekend coming up. But leading up to that, if you want, D7 guys want to get warmed up, get some testing in, head to this race here, February 18th and 19th. It's at Tucson Dragway. It's put on by the Matt Hawk, Brad Hawk, two brothers. They race stock and super stock. Guaranteed payout. Contact them there. Go to their Facebook page or give them a call and find out what's going on, how much the entry fee is, and what the payout's going to be. Maybe they can tell us. Maybe they can shed a little more light on it. All right, so good luck anybody that heads there. Also, don't forget about the big 10 grand combo coming up at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Now, this is the same weekend as the Gator Nationals, I believe. Or is it the weekend after? I don't know. Regardless, this is happening on the West Coast, and the Gator Nationals is happening on the East Coast. Weekend after. Baby Gators is the 2nd to the 5th. Gators is 9th to the 12th, and this here is 17th to the 19th. 10 grand to win, put on by Phil Mandela Race Cars and WickedStitches.com. Wicked Stitches is Mark Kirby. He's the one that made these hats for me. So check them out. Check that race out. $300 weekend entry gets you in to race for 10 grand. That's a nice return on investment. So good luck to anybody that heads there. Let me know. I am going to try to get up to New England this year, New England Dragway, I believe, and or Lebanon Valley Dragway. I've never been to Lebanon Valley, but the D1 champion, Mark Lebrecht, asked me if I had any interest in coming up there and maybe reporting on their All-Star Association. That's their association, Superstock Association up in the New England area. So I am going to try, and hopefully we can make that happen. 1,000-foot clocks were not working at Orlando. Really? So what? Every time slip had a blank there in the 1,000-foot department? Is that true? Couldn't find live timing anywhere. It wasn't on NHRA's website. I was able to watch it on YouTube. For anybody that didn't know, there is, free divisional streaming on YouTube now. And I think NHRA wised up and they figured, why are we putting this on NHRA TV when we could be putting this on YouTube and making a few bucks on commercials? So I think they're going to stream all the divisionals on YouTube and try and get that advertisement money, right? They're always thinking. They are always thinking. Plans to join your old CRT co-host this summer. Big 5K race at Rock Falls, Wisconsin this summer. Send me the dates, and if it's possible, I'll try to go. I will. Okay, Vince. It had a bunch of zeros in the 1,000-foot. Ay, ay, ay. It's so weird. This race was so early in the year. I just feel like, was anybody ready for it? Was NHRA even ready for it? I just don't know sometimes. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, like their live timing wasn't up. It was, Drag Race Central. You're going there to try to find results because live timing is not giving you any results. And it's like, geez, it's such a mystery just trying to find out who's number one qualifier, who's going into the third round. Thankfully, racers are posting qualifying sheets. That always helps. Really? Bucket loads of red lights, late lights. Rumor that the blinder rule is going to be revisited this weekend. Oh, my God. Here we go with this blinder rule again. All right, I can't say anything that'll incriminate me here, but that's, people approached me, a couple people. There weren't that many class racers at the banquet, but I was approached and asked what I thought about the blinder rule and how's everybody going to adjust. And like I said, I don't use a blinder, so I couldn't care any less. However, I would never say that I speak for all of you. If I was to ever meet with NHRA on an issue like this, I would never say, hey, I don't use blinders, so I don't care what you do. I would always take your vote and take your input on something like this before talking to them or approaching them on such a topic. Like if they were ever asking me what I thought of it, I would ask you guys first and, take a vote. We would take a vote right here. We could do it on my Facebook page, YouTube page. I would come up with something on my website so everybody can have a say. All right. So I don't want you guys to ever think that I'm just speaking for you in the rare instance that I'm speaking with NHRA. I never just speak for you on what I think you all want. I would always make sure it's objective and make sure I know what you want. But as far as the blinders are concerned, all right, June 16th to 18th on that, I will have to check my schedule. I don't know. Driver interviews with Bobby Faggy should promote a super stock race this year. You could start off $50 entry, $100K to win. Just saying. Paul, it doesn't matter. Nobody would show up. They'd rather pay $300 to win $2,000 and a Wally. So, we could try it. We would need some big sponsors for it. But I really would like to know that if something like that was possible, what would the turnout be? Would people show up to it? Do people really care that much about points and Wallies? I don't know, because I am one of those people. But I would definitely hit something like this up. NHRA TV is currently undergoing a major updating or rework. Okay. Well, I can't wait to see what that entails. Wonder what they're gonna fix there. But anyways, back to the blinders. Sorry, Gary. I got AD. how do you revisit a rule because people suck? Right? Like, nobody could cut a light. So we got to go back to the blinder rule. Now, the fact that it was changed, like Walt Walker pointed out to me and many others, it was changed not that long ago where people didn't have time to, I guess, prepare, maybe practice, things like that. And people are trying to adjust now. That, that could be an issue. But yeah, I had a feeling maybe they would revisit it. A lot of people have been complaining about it. So maybe it's warranted to revisit it and just make some guidelines, okay? You can flip it down after your burnout, and you got to flip it up once you pull off the track. You just got to be careful of where you're pulling off. And blinders shouldn't be like, you shouldn't have blinders that are like literally covering everything. Like I see a lot of people that have the blinders with the little, like an L, it's like an L-shaped blinder or whatever. That's not going to inhibit your ability to pull off the track safely. Now, every time I've ever pulled off the track, I always stop and then like take my seatbelts off, put my windows down. I always check under the hood of my car. I'm not one to just like pull off the track and just drive back to the pits, because I at least like to just make sure everything's okay, and just take a couple things off. But right there is a situation where if you have a blinder, put it up, and then that's it. That could be the rule on that. So I'll let you know if I hear anything, but I'm sure you guys will hear stuff before me. I'm like late to the party sometimes. Anybody know what's going on with the SRAC votes? That's the other thing I wanted to. Is that still going on? Because I did vote once, and I don't know if we were supposed to vote again. It seemed like it resurfaced. So was I supposed to vote again, or was that just a reminder to vote? Somebody let me know. Oh, absolutely, Tom. I think Tom might still have a flip phone. He's going to be my tech. Oh, that tech. I'm sorry. I thought you meant like my IT guy. Yeah, you can be my tech guy. Absolutely. You can check the cars. You can check all the Mopars out. All right. For sure. Technical inspector guy. I thought you were going to run my cameras and my networking and my streaming. I thought that's what you meant, Tom. But I knew better than that. Come on. I want you to make sure everybody's got the proper hood on their 70 CUDAs and darts and, all that, because I don't know the ins and outs of all that. If it came with a 383 or a 440 or a 340, 6-pack or whatever, 6-barrel, I was educated on that now after I posted I called Chuck Stubeck's car a 446 pack, but I was told it's not called 446 pack when it's a Plymouth. It's 446 barrel and 446 pack when it's a Dodge. All right. So, I'm still learning, trying to read my books, trying to study my, Google and all that. I just don't have age on my side. It just wasn't around when those cars were around, and it just makes it hard, This one was shipped with this package. They put it in the trunk for you to secretly put it on once you got home. Like, that's where that's where I'm missing. Technical, yeah, no, we know, Tom. It's okay. What you lack in technology, you more than make up with in machining capability. So, Tom, let us know what's going on with your bushings for the control arms. Comment here and let me know so I can post it up. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I know you're making those. Okay, so anybody that is headed to Wild Horse Pass, good luck to you. Be on the lookout. I'm working on Chad Logie's interview. I had a hell of a week last week. I just feel like I'm drowning sometimes, and I'm trying to get interviews out. And I am a little bit of a perfectionist when I do these interviews. I sit there and I'm like, I use up a lot of time. Like, I got to just edit this real little thing right here because I just want that word to come out better. And I got to say, I waste a lot of time. And, but I hope you guys are getting a lot out of these interviews. I have gotten positive feedback on them. And I want you to enjoy them and share them and like them and, critique them if you find anything wrong. All right, they are ready. So control arm bushings, machine, billet, CNC machine by Tom Baker. GM right now, right, Tom? Gen 3 Camaros, Gen 4. What do you got? Let me know. Tom's bushings are pretty trick. I had a pair in my hands yesterday. Oh, boy. All right. They're already out there. Tom, send me a picture of them. I'll flash it up for everybody to see. Pete, Pete, are you putting one in a Plymouth? Or a pair of these in your Mopar for now, I was going to say. All right. Starting with Mopar, I think making your way into the GM, and then probably lastly, the Fords, right? Good for you. That's awesome. I wish I knew how to machine anything. Too many Mopars cheating with the hood deal. Crack down like they did on the 69 Camaros. Uh-oh. Tom, what did I start here? Who's good with those hoods? What was the deal with the 69 Camaro hoods? So was it people running Z28 hoods on like 350 motors? Was that what that deal was? Tim Hughes, if you could refresh my memory on that. GM's coming this spring, and Tom agrees. Yeah, with the hood thing. Yeah, I remember that hood thing being a big deal about 5 or 6 years ago. So the cow hood came on what? What did the cow hood come on? Somebody was that on the Z? Was that a Z hood? And people were putting them on the big blocks. Is that what that was? It gets really tricky when it's GT because you don't know if the hood's following the body or if the hood was following the engine, and then it was fresh air. There you go, fresh air. Just like I was saying, if it's a fresh air motor, you can put that cow hood on the GT. If it's not a fresh air, you got to take it off. If it had a shaker hood, but you're putting a I don't know, a 5-liter 1990 Mustang motor in there, you can't have that hood. So it gets very tricky in GT. All right, so it was the Z hood. They were putting Z28 hoods on 69 Camaros that did not come with the Z28 hood. 350, 255 was a non-fresh air motor, so it was the 350s. They were running the Z hoods. They weren't allowed to, and NHRA cracked down. There's James. Where you been all day? Come on. You're late. Where's Darren Poole Adams? I thought he was supposed to be coming. Ray Thurston. What a nice play on words. Nice play on words. They have their blinders on. They had their blinders on with cocktail hour too. For anybody that doesn't know what I'm talking about, just rewind about 20 minutes. Fresh air cow hoods only on fresh air motor combinations. All right. We got that clarified. Well, GT is going to be. Did anybody notice GT like a little bit of a different world down there in Orlando? One thing I did notice was this is the first time in my recent memory that Superstock had more cars than stock. Does that just mean stockers are just scared right now because of these new AHFS rules? And Orlando would typically be good weather, and they're afraid to go fast. I just feel like people are racing scared right now. So let's see how that kind of plays out this season. See if they maybe revisit that rule too. In addition to the blinder rule, I don't know if the average rule gets revisited. Be interesting to see. So, but I just really never saw more super stockers than stockers. I was pretty surprised, to say the least. Did look like a lot of the stockers were going, slower than they were probably capable of. However, I do believe the air was very soupy on the first day until it rained out, and then the second day got a lot better, and people were picking up like 0.2 of a second. So, Tim Hughes, cow hood only on the upper HP cars. IIRC had to be a 302 Z28 or more than 300 horsepower. Okay. Weather, you think the weather kept people away? Was it a bad forecast? I didn't even waste time checking because I wasn't going. Too much time between Orlando and the next races. Yeah, and I mean, that would have kept me out too, unless I could find a place to leave my stuff for the next 5 weeks till the baby gators. 4 weeks, I think it is. So yeah, it would have been hard for me. But I look forward to seeing you all in Gainesville. Let me know if you're going to be there. Hopefully I'm a little more organized. At that point, I'll have hats with me, shirts with me, and whatever else I can shove onto my Frontier Airlines flight. Probably nothing. They probably charge you by the pound on that airline, but we'll see how that goes. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. Tuesday, Tell All. This was Driver Interviews with Bobby Fazio. Share it up, comment, like it. Do your best to spread the word. Stock and super stock are the best classes in drag racing. The Car Show, hashtag The Car Show. Thank you, Lupe Tortilla, for the awesome title sponsorship, really helping out driver interviews with Bobby Fazio. And thank you to all the sponsors, Total Seal, Don Kennedy, Tim Stickles, Tom Baker. We got a lot of sponsors here. Drag Insights. I really appreciate everybody coming in and helping me out, helping me spread the word on stock and super stock drag racing. I never thought, I was hoping to get one sponsor in my lifetime, and there we go. I just rattled off about 5 or 6 of them. So I really appreciate what you guys are doing for me, and I will continue to work hard. I will get back on my driver interviews. Chad Logi's coming out this weekend. It's a great interview, very, very informative, and I've got camera views in there. He had 2 heads-up runs, 2 rounds in a row, so I got coverage on that. I'm putting it all in this interview, so I hope you all enjoy it. I'm trying to finish it definitely by Thursday. It'll be out by Thursday, if not earlier, because I got to catch up. And then I have Santi Grossi and Darren Grossi, the 2 brothers. There's my last 2 interviews from Pomona. I know Pomona seems like it was a lifetime ago, and the new season started, but don't worry, I'm getting there. And then I'll see you all at Gainesville. All right, guys, take care. See you soon.